twisted minds unique.
Hey all you Slashaholics, welcome to Slash Sisters. I am Slash Sister Hallie. God, this dental work is still killing me.
And I am Slash Sister Jen, and we want to welcome you back to the channel for horror movie reviews by true horror movie fans.
And if this is your first time here, what the fuck took you so long? Seriously, we've been doing this, we were just talking about this, this is going on our third year.
Yeah. So if it is your first time here,
hit that subscribe button for us to do it. And you know, like, comment, share,
we
do
love
all the
it.
things.
It's good for
do
the
all the
algorithms.
things. Yes. The algorithm.
The algorithms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, guys, I need to talk about something.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I need to talk about someone.
Okay, look, we got emotional in our last video. We
I
can't break
know.
down in two.
I'm not breaking down.
Okay.
I'm talking about
Alright.
the most badass, hilarious,
Okay.
silent man to ever grace the films.
Charlie Chaplin?
Did Charlie Chaplin murder people?
No, but he was badass, hilarious, and the silent man that graced films.
Yeah.
You didn't say anything about murdering people.
That's true. I see my hair. I should. Anyways, this man has been haunting my dreams, my waking thoughts, my everything for a few years now.
The fuck just happened?
What are you wearing? That's a pretty cool horn you got there. I kind of like it.
What'd you do?
I'm glad you're here with me. I'm glad I got her to dress up for me. Never would have thought that I would see her in the clown costume. Anyways.
Somehow, some way, I know you're behind this.
I always am. Hell yeah, I did, and I even got Amy to watch it too. I got you to do it, I got Amy to watch it, and since we are now, everybody knows what we're reviewing, let's go ahead and see if we can get tongue-tied and terrified. Huh?
Tongue-tied and
Tongue-tied and terrified. Tongue-tied. Yeah.
Well, I think it's very apparent as to what we are doing. But we start our story in Miles County Morgue at the end of the events of Terrifier 2.
Terrifier 1. Sorry. Terrifier 1. I typed wrong.
This is what happens when I don't get the script.
She literally got the script like a half an hour before we were going to record. This is all my fault.
Where we saw Art resurrected by unknown electric anomaly.
Yes, an unknown force of some sort. Art the Clown brutally murders the coroner, examining his body, ripping the coroner's eye out, and putting it right where his was missing.
Still trying to figure out how he regrew his eye, though.
He's a demon.
Where is he? We then follow Art as he goes to, of all places, a laundromat where he proceeds to strip down butt-ass naked and wash his blood-soaked garments.
Yeah.
I don't think
We
that's
do get
how
to
it
see
works.
David Howard Thornton's booty.
I don't think that's how that works, though.
No? Why not?
You can't get blood out
I mean...
without bleaching it.
Maybe he had bleach. As he is enjoying his newspaper and reading about, a head-on car crash and laughing at it, he looks over to see the little pale girl, a mysterious entity in similar clown attire.
A lone patron sees Art interacting with the girl, but he only sees Art and not the little pale girl.
Interesting. Art finishes cleaning up the blood and feces off of the floor, gets dressed in his nice, fresh attire, grabs his bag. What? I'm pretty sure that's what the little pale girl shat out on the floor.
Oh, it looked like she was on her rag, but okay.
It was pretty nasty either way. Grabs his bag and heads out the door, but not before taking that mop pole and smashing it right through that other guy's head.
1 year later. 1 year later. In 2018, we meet Sienna Shaw, who is preparing the last portions. I'm gonna get there, I swear. Of her Halloween costume, inspired by the drawings that her late father Michael made for her.
He's a prolific comic book artist. At dinner, Sienna scolds Jonathan for wanting to dress up as Art the Clown, who had ruthlessly murdered 9 people the previous year right there in Miles County.
Their mom, Barbara, forbids her son from dressing up as the mysterious serial killer.
Yeah. After dinner, Sienna speaks with her mother about Jonathan's behaviors, mannerisms, since their dad passed away. But Barbara is confident that sooner or later he will return to normal.
Shortly afterwards, Jonathan goes to his sister's room and asks for her opinion on what happened to Art because his body was never found following his supposed suicide, but Sienna remains calm and reassures him that there was no reason for them to be worried.
Yeah. After snuffing out the lights of her candles, Sienna then falls asleep and experiences a dream where she is teleported to a place known as the Clown Cafe.
Food's a little funny at the Clown Cafe. Drop on by the Clown Cafe.
And now we're going to get sued by Damon Leone. Thank you.
Come after me, Damien. Don't really.
There she is surrounded by kids younger than herself. Not really.
Not much. They're all dressed young, I guess.
Yeah, but they all look like they're in their teens or early 20s. And a clown-dressed woman, this fucking thing, with a banjo who unexpectedly welcomes Art the Clown himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, Art the Clown!
That is extremely weird.
Sienna becomes nervous at the sight of him, and though initially the other kids and their parents seem happy at Art's presence, and his friendly gestures, like giving them all really disgusting presents, the clown soon pulls out...
Well, he gives them all candy except for Sienna.
Yeah, she gets a wrapped up heart with worms and blood, and yeah, it's pretty nasty looking.
Mm-hmm.
The clown soon pulls out a machine gun and begins to kill the horrified audience.
Machine gun, but okay.
Well, okay, like a little mini gun, but
Submachine gun.
yes.
Art then grabs, it's not even a flamethrower, it's literally like a fucking oil can that he presses a button and flames shoot out. That's not a fucking flamethrower, that's not how they fucking work. To execute the rest of the victims, actually primarily just the banjo woman, who continues singing the Clown Cafe song whilst on fire.
Yes, she does. Despite her slight injuries, Sienna does find the strength to escape the chaos and tries to find a tool to defend herself, but Art quickly catches up with her.
She's able to get away just long enough to summon her sword from a cereal box, which she uses to deflect the flames of Art's. I'm not calling it a flamethrower, but yeah.
Sure. However, she wakes up in her bed to find that a true fire in her bedroom has incinerated her angel wings that she had made for her costume. Luckily, Barbara shows up in time with a fire extinguisher and is able to put the fire out, but not only did she lose the wings, but she lost a lot of belongings that were in her dresser as well.
After an hour of being scolded by her enraged mother...
What are you, fucking stupid?
I understand, like, if you think that... But if your daughter's telling you that's not what happened, fucking believe her.
Yeah, Yeah, it would be hard to believe that your kid didn't just accidentally not light one candle. Or not blow out one candle.
Sienna awakens the next morning and asks her mom about the sword her dad gave her. Her mom assumes that it was destroyed, but Sienna says it is perfectly fine.
Interesting. That sword is very, very interesting.
F-word.
At school, Sienna meets with her best friends Allie and Brooke. Brooke immediately brings up the interview with Monica Brown and with the sole survivor of the Miles County Massacre from the previous year, Victoria Hayes.
She went full-on psycho and mauled Monica Brown with her bare hands.
See, now, I'm confused. Because at the start of 1, we see Art watching that fucking interview, and he kicks in the TV and then gets dressed and goes on a killing spree. But we see the same fucking TV, not broken. So, is he time jumping?
So, well, maybe. So, the scene from the first one
The opening sequence
takes place at the end of the film.
Okay, I get that.
So, it's actually...
I get that. But she was the survivor of the events
of the
that
first
happened.
one. Right.
But this is happening, like this just happened. Like,
Right.
Because this is a year later.
Right.
So she was just on the talk show.
So, in Terrifier 1, when you see him kick the TV the first time, that's a year later.
Boy, Damien Leone really screwed the pooch on that one.
Anyways.
Miss Vicky apparently has gouged out Monica's eyes with her bare hands and completely demolished her face. Which, I mean, to be fair, Miss Vicky's face is kind of demolished too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that prosthetics, shit.
As Brooke continues to describe Monica's state following the attack, Sienna begins to hyperventilate and ultimately ends up having a panic attack.
Her friends calm her down and dismiss it as something triggered by the fire in her bedroom from the previous night. Yeah, because that's liable.
Meanwhile, at Jonathan's school, a couple of the kids find a dead possum.
An opossum?
Right up your alley, huh, J-Man?
An opossum. And call Jonathan over behind the dumpster to see it. They are ultimately caught by their principal, played by none other than the amazing Felissa Rose.
What are you boys doing back here?
In all of a 30-second cameo.
Yes. She's in this movie for like no time at all.
Right. Later, when Jonathan leaves class to get a drink, he finds Art and the pale girl, the little pale girl, in the hallway playing with the dead opossum. They then throw it to Jonathan, who is caught again by Principal Felissa. And it's
Who knows what her actual name is? It's Principal Felissa.
It was.
Yeah, she did have a name, but it's
Yeah.
Principal Felissa. After school, Sienna and Allie head to the costume shop to find a new pair of angel wings for Sienna's costume.
You know what? I'm going to tell you this right now. Those wings, for being like mass-produced Halloween store,
They're great.
They're
They're
great.
nice.
They're
Yeah.
fucking great.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with those.
No.
Nothing at all.
After Allie leaves earlier than expected due to being needed at home, Sienna finds a replacement pair of wings, only to find herself face to face with this fucking thing.
Yeah. That fucking guy right there. She makes her way to the front of the store after she, creeps past him to make her purchase, but realizes she doesn't have her purse.
I think I left my bag downstairs.
Right as Art the Clown throws it down on the counter for her.
Art messes with Sienna by trying on numerous sunglasses and a clown horn.
Stop! Please stop! Please!
Hey, buddy.
While she is waiting for the cashier to finish the payment for the wings, he also puts a little party favor.
Yeah,
thing in
and he's
his
like,
mouth.
if you're gonna put that in your mouth, you're gonna have to pay for it. Yeah.
Gotta go.
As soon as she receives the wings, she leaves the costume shop in a hurry.
Art follows her to the door, but flips the sign from open to closed and turns his attention on the employee, who he brutally hacks to pieces and decapitates. But not before trying to pay for the horn. He actually legit tried to pay for the horn.
He does. He doesn't have no money.
He didn't have enough money. And the store clerk, which, by the way, I'm a little confused. I thought for sure with, like, this tie-in stuff, the Spirit of his release.
Yeah.
That it would be set in a spirit store. But no, it's set in a small town Halloween shop.
I think when Terrifier 2 came out, Spirit had not
gotten on board with it
yet. Not yet.
But it is a small town Halloween shop
Yes.
because when he goes to the door and flips the sign, it says shop local.
Yeah. Which I love. Always shop local.
So, I have a problem with this scene right here.
Yeah.
And you and I had discussed this already.
Yeah.
The best thing about Terrifier is also the worst thing about Terrifier. So, Damien...
I disagree with her.
Damien Leone is known for his practical effects. Okay,
Absolutely.
that is great. But when you showcase them as much as he does, it goes from, okay, that looks cool, to that looks like shit. Because he highlighted too much of the store clerk's death for it to look good.
Real.
It looked like a fake head,
Yeah.
specifically with the eyeball and the mouth superimposed over the bullshit head to make it look like he was fighting for life or whatever.
Right.
Which, I mean, and a lot of the kills are like that, you know.
Now, I do want to remind everyone that this was a $250,000 budget film.
Okay, look, I'm not knocking the budget. I'm not. Because you can do a lot of things with $250,000. But for him to sit there and literally pull focus on, like, not only the cutting into the head, the slitting of the throat, the bashing and all that, but he pulled focus on it for 40 fucking seconds.
Yeah,
all we needed was 10.
Yeah.
10 seconds at the most, and then honestly is too
and then
long
it like
for a
cuts away
prosthetic
and
head.
goes back too. I think,
Yeah,
even.
it does cut away and go back, which was too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. If he would have cut it at the first time, great. Don't go back. We don't need to see that close up of the head again to highlight the prosthetics that are clearly fake.
He's, I think, learning and getting better with every film. That's my personal opinion.
Like I said, it's the great thing about Terrifier, but it's also the bad thing about Terrifier.
Sure. Arriving home, Sienna finds Jonathan turning pages through their father's sketchbook, which they had been looking for since he passed away.
Apparently Sienna and Barbara were looking for it, but Jonathan had it the entire time. Jonathan reveals that he found art in his school alongside the spirit of one of his victims, a 10-year-old girl named Emily Crane, who was heavily mutilated several years ago.
And is thought to be... Okay, so here's where we get into theories. But, my thought is that Emily Crane is actually Art's real-life daughter. And the death of her is what pushed him to... I think that, Emily Crane's parents were carnies. I think Art was Emily's father, and he went crazy after she died.
Alright, so how did he become an interdimensional being?
Well, that happened when the demons came.
What fucking demons?
The little pale girl.
But you just said she was his daughter.
She is... Okay, she's not... She's someone that nobody else can see. The only people that can see her, because the principal didn't see her, right?
Well, the principal didn't see Art either.
Right. So, the principal
were they even
her.
fucking there?
The only people that see the little pale girl are Art, Sienna, and Jonathan. Those are the only people that see her. Even at the party later, nobody sees the little pale girl except for Sienna. The guy in the laundromat did not see the little pale girl.
No, I get that. I get that. Let's keep it going.
Anyways, she's using... I think that the little pale girl, as a demon, is using the same persona as Emily Crane, which could be Art's daughter. as a way to get Art to accept her. Anyways. He goes on to show Sienna their father's drawings of Art's victims from the Miles County massacre in the previous year, before revealing a page containing Sienna as an angel Valkyrie warrior triumphantly holding a monster's severed head. And if you are familiar with All Hallows Eve, that monster's head is featured in All Hallows Eve.
Jonathan makes this point that this
or that monster, at least.
That this is a prophecy by their father that they were fated to fight Art, but despite having personally encountered Art, Sienna continues to be in denial. It ain't just a river in Egypt.
Barbara enters and explains to Sienna that Jonathan was suspended for supposedly bringing a dead opossum into the halls of his school.
I don't want to hear another word about this goddamn clown.
Despite Jonathan's persistence that he had been framed by Art and the little pale girl, Barbara refuses to hear his explanations and vows to call their therapist to put an end to Jonathan's unnatural behavior. This isn't when she rips up the book, is it? That's later, right?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Art shows up to Allie's front door to do a little trick-or-treating. And after she berates him for being an adult who's out trick-or-treating...
You're really weird, you know that?
He comes into
Just give
the
him
house.
the fucking candy.
Yeah, no shit. He comes into the house and we are treated to one of the longest...
The most audacious kills in film history.
It's pretty fucked up.
And
it goes
dumb.
on for a long time.
And fucking dumb.
I don't know.
It's dumb.
I don't think it's dumb. I think it's pretty hilarious in some ways.
She should have been dead long before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Long before.
Yeah.
Sienna completes her costume and calls an Uber to the Halloween party organized by her classmate, Megan.
Yeah, so we can't really talk too much about that. We just breezed right over it. We can't talk about the LA scene too much because it is graphic. But
yeah, I can't show any of that on
this
platform.
We can't show any of that on the platform. But if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. But
it's
know
very
that it involves
ostentatious.
salt and bleach and her mom finding her in that state, which is...
And Art was there too.
Her poor mom. And then he kills her mom too.
Because he uses her mom's head as a candy bucket.
Yep. Anyways. Before leaving, Sienna was touched by her mom's comment that her father would have loved to see her in her costume.
But she also told her that she looked like a
slut. Yeah.
At the party, Sienna reunites with Brooke, meets her boyfriend Jeff, and the three proceed to have some drinks. Did you notice Jeff's shirt, by the way?
It says just the tip.
Yeah, he was also dressed like Bob from Halloween.
Yeah. After wondering where Allie could be, as she had not shown up yet, Sienna receives a call from an enraged Barbara, her mom, who explains that Jonathan had supposedly vandalized their car with shaving cream, toilet paper, and eggs in revenge for her grounding him.
Technically, that's not vandalizing. Vandalizing would be keying the paint or slashing the tires.
Eggs will, shaving cream will take the paint off. That's vandalizing.
Really, Maud. I love you.
I don't say it enough. I love you too.
After reassuring her exhausted and irritated mother that they would solve Jonathan's problems together and telling her that she loved her, Sienna returns to Brooke and Jeff's side to enjoy the party as best as possible, but not before being berated by her mother again for being inebriated.
Yeah.
Little does her mom know.
I did it! I made you feel better, didn't I?
I'm fucking pissed.
When Barbara goes out to the garage to begin cleaning the car up, she finds Art the Clown inside the car, who promptly shoots her right in her fucking face.
And I have a problem with this, too, because he very clearly blows her head to pieces, but yet it's miraculously, like, just, like, the face is just, like, blown off of it in a later scene.
It's enough together for him to mash some potatoes up in it.
I don't see how it was, but okay. As she dances among other disguised teenagers, Sienna notices the little pale girl and tries to warn Brooke and Jeff, but they are too intoxicated to understand what the fuck she is saying.
Suddenly, the little pale girl is in front of Sienna and frightens her to the point where she screams and falls to her knees, freaked the fuck out.
I looked away for a split second
Right?
and missed, like, the little pale girl freaking her out, so I'm like, what the fuck just happened? She gradually calms down with Brooke's assistance, but now everybody at the party was staring at Brooke and Sienna, forcing the two girls and Jeff to leave said party.
I'm getting tired, guys. Sorry for the yawn. As they were driving home, an exasperated Brooke confronts Sienna over what just happened, and Sienna blames Brooke for adding Molly to her drink.
Sienna, what the fuck was that back there?
Yeah, that is a terrible fucking friend.
Yeah,
because
that's not a good friend.
You have no idea what your friend may be actually taking that's legally prescribed to her that could be counteracting the effects of whatever you're adding to her fucking drink. And causing massive hallucinations, not to mention heart palpitations and possible fucking death.
Yeah, don't
Bitch.
dose your friends. That's
Bitch.
not cool. Not cool.
Bitch.
Not cool at all. As they were driving home, yeah, so she's just pissed off. Like, I'd be pissed off too. Like,
oh yeah, if you drop Molly in my fucking drink, you and I are gonna have some fucking choice words. I guarantee the and are gonna be in there too.
You know I know better. Now, if you drop Molly in my drink,
you'll probably have a good time.
Probably. Who knows?
Brooke gets irritated as she tries to justify her actions as doing something good. Yeah, okay, right, whatever. For Sienna, who, according to Brooke herself, always looked like Miss Morbid.
As Brooke and Jeff consider taking Sienna to a hospital, Sienna pleads for them to take her home. However, before they could do that...
Please, I'm really scared. I don't know what else to do.
Sienna receives a phone call from Jonathan's phone. Interesting.
Sienna finds out that he and his friends had gone to an abandoned carnival, but his friends left him there alone.
Weird. A carnival. The trio arrives at the abandoned carnival to look for Jonathan. They also actually find a haunted house called the Terrifier, which is, according to Jonathan's message, where he's at. And
it's rare that we actually see the name of the film in the film,
right?
With the font for the film.
Yeah, I love it though.
Unfortunately, this turned out to be a trap orchestrated by Art and the little pale girl to lure Sienna out. Why? I do not know. I mean, at this point in time, we don't know.
Right. After taking just the tip from Jeff and murdering Brooke with acid in a makeshift mace, man, when he... Oh, God, he just...
That acid was enough to kill her.
But
well,
why stop there?
Well, no, according to, like, the type of acid that it is, it'll eat through anything.
Yeah.
Literally, like anything.
But Art lures Sienna into a fight inside the Terrifier, which ends with him severely wounding her in several closets and broken bathroom windows before knocking her out cold.
I think they were bathroom stalls.
Yeah, I guess they were.
He then slashes Jonathan numerous times with a miniature blade. I think it's a scalpel, actually.
Yeah.
Before being caught off guard and by a recovered Sienna, who knocks him down with his own mace before stabbing him in the head with it.
Yeah, she just fucking clocks him in the side of the head with that thing.
It's kind of interesting because you can very clearly tell that it is a table leg. That
you
put like knife blades and
for
shit
sure.
through.
For sure. The wound does not kill Art though, but
because
provides...
apparently nothing does.
Yeah. But it does provide an opportunity for the Shaw siblings to get away from Art the Clown.
Art continues to chase them throughout the haunted house, but despite Sienna and Jonathan's best efforts to put an end to Art's life, he manages to survive all of their attacks.
Yep. The little pale girl then disguises herself as Barbara to distract Sienna, which is kind of funny. Like, you know that it's her, or at least it's the demon. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't think the little pale girl, I think it's a demon using that visage to try and get to Art, which is why she uses Barbara later to try and get to Sienna. Anyways, she uses Barbara to distract Sienna, or try to distract Sienna, while Art takes Jonathan away, but he manages to warn Sienna that the figure in front of her is not their mother.
Little Pale Girl then reveals her true form and shares with Sienna visions of her mother having her head blown apart by Art with the shotgun, which is a very sawed-off shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, it looked like a
short,
pistol.
yeah.
Which leaves Sienna heartbroken for several moments.
Yeah. After recovering from the loss of her mom, Sienna finds Jonathan apparently dead next to Art.
She tries to attack the sociopathic clown, but he turns the tables on her and throws her down some type of, like, shaft.
Yeah, like a tunnel, sort of. Yeah, shaft.
To a lower level of
the
carnival grounds.
Yeah.
Where he impales her through the abdomen with her father's sword, which she had stolen from her home because he was attracted to it. He picked it up and was, like, drawn to it.
I wonder why. Exhausted and terribly wounded, Sienna falls into a tank of water located in what seems to be her own personal hell, kind of looking into the Clown Cafe. Where she relives the nightmare of the Clown Cafe until she dies from drowning.
After Jonathan awakens to find Art eating his fingers and then his ankle, he calls out Sienna's name for help.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
I love
Art
how much Art, like, uses cannibalism.
Art tried to wake up the fucking kid, to be fair. He was smacking him in the face and, like, trying to wake him up, but he just wouldn't wake up.
For unknown reasons, the sword glows with an orange color, and its magic seals Sienna's fatal wound and brings her back to life.
I don't think it was the fatal wound because she drowned.
Yeah, she definitely drowned, but something brings her back to life.
Upon escaping from the tank, Sienna returns upstairs and impales Art through the back with her sword to prevent him from further eating Jonathan's ankles.
Poor ankles. Jonathan's poor ankles.
Fucking ankle biters.
Can we talk about Jonathan for just a quick minute? At one point, we're going to rewind for just a second to when they're in Jonathan's room. At one point, they're in Jonathan's room, and I don't know if you're familiar with the character, the actor that plays Jonathan. His name's Elliot Fulham. He's also known as Little Punk People. He has his own YouTube channel. He's been interviewing massively huge musicians.
I know he did an interview with Spencer.
5, okay?
He did
literally since he was like 5. He's been interviewing everyone in the music industry. So some of the bands that I noticed, it's in my phone somewhere, which is upstairs. He has a King Diamond poster in his room. He has a Testament poster in his room. He has a fucking Merciful Fate poster in his room. I love Jonathan, you guys. He's great. He's got great taste in music. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, Sienna continues to attack the maim, though. She goes after Art, continuing to slash him with that knife, seems to be the only thing that can hurt him.
S word, not knife.
Yes. It's a sword. But she cuts open his neck and cuts open his throat, which are severe enough to bring Art to his knees.
Though initially pissed to have lost to a mundane girl, Art smirks as if he had developed genuine respect towards Sienna.
I think he realizes that she's his nemesis. After a few moments, he puts his head in a good position to be beheaded, and Sienna goes right through the killing, unleashing a victory roar of pent-up rage. Like, she takes his fucking head off.
After ensuring Art was no longer a threat, Sienna comforts Jonathan until they see the little pale girl picking up Art's head.
Yep, much to their surprise, she just picks it up and leaves the carnival with Art's head in her arms, leaving the Shaw siblings behind to be taken to a nearby hospital to recover and heal from their near-death experiences. And that's kind of the end of it. But then we get just a little bit more.
In a mid-credit scene, an orderly at Miles County Psychiatric is heard humming the Clown Cafe theme song and tells another orderly she picked the tune up from Victoria.
So, fun little tidbit. The girl that plays the orderly is the same person that plays the Clown Cafe girl. Same actress.
And the other orderly is
Chris Jericho.
Who is also the lead singer of the band.
Is he really? I didn't
Fozzy.
realize he was in a band.
Fozzy.
Awesome. Chris Jericho is also in the third one.
He's also a pro wrestler.
Yeah, yes, obviously. That's what most people know him as. Victoria is down the hall as she's now been re-institutionalized after her attack on Monica Brown.
Re-institutionalized?
Yeah, they let her out.
Oh, that's right. She did
at
get
the
out
end of the first one, remember?
That's right. Writings like Vicky plus Art and obscenities are all over the wall with her own blood. Is she supposed to be pregnant? Because she looks pregnant.
Well, I mean, what does she end up birthing?
I mean, she just has it. It didn't look like it came out of her. She just has it.
Why does it have an umbilical cord, though?
I didn't see an umbilical cord.
It could have just been a spinal cord, I guess, too, but definitely came out of her, I think. Anyways, the orderly goes in to check on Vicky and finds that she has given birth to Art's living head. Victoria's eyes glow, exactly like the little pale girl's, indicating that the demon is now possessing Vicky. And the pale girl is gone.
Or so we're led to believe. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
seen the third movie yet, so
I don't know. I don't know anything about this. It's so stupid.
I don't think it's stupid at all. I absolutely love the new storyline. I love that there is a storyline, unlike the first one, where it was pretty much just Art killing to kill just because that's what we wanted to showcase. At least on this one, we get storyline, we get new lore considered. I say this knowing because I've seen the third one, but when I came out of watching this movie the first time, I was so fucking excited to find out more. I was like, oh my god, I need to know, one, how the fuck Art's head ended up inside of Vicky. Two, I need to know more about the little pale girl and where she came from. Three, I want to know more about Sienna. I want to know why her dad was drawing pictures of those people. Why he had Sienna drawn in that Valkyrie costume. What did he know? I don't know. When I left Terrifier 2, I immediately was excited with more questions and where the series would be going.
I could see that. I was excited to see an actual story thought out much better than the first one.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
But I still stand by my statement. The best thing about Terrifier is also the worst thing about Terrifier. The practical effects. Practical effects are great when done in moderation. Because if you're trying to highlight them the entire time, you lose the audience because the audience can tell it's a fake head or a fake limb or whatever.
Or you gain an audience because you can tell that it's a fake head or a fake whatever because we know that obviously this is a movie and we go, wow, I can't believe you were able to make it look like that, but with fake stuff.
But that's the thing though, if you know it's fake, if you can tell that it's fake, you lose the illusion of the film itself.
The illusion is not trying to paint it as super hyper realistic though.
makes a good film. Is that it gives you the
Not
idea
always.
that it's real. Clearly, because this is not a good film. This is a bloody machete sideways for me.
Says the girl who really appreciates practical effects.
I do, when they're done well. This is not done well.
Yes, it is.
It's not. It really isn't.
I think you might be the only person on this planet that thinks that Damien Leone's
Well, then fuck it. I'm the only person on this planet. But the effects are good when you don't spend an hour showing it.
I disagree. I like seeing it. Show it all. Show me everything. Show me the gritty, disgusting, mashed potato filled head, frozen off body parts. I don't care. I want to see it all, and I want to laugh about it, and I want to see the way that Art does it, because every way that he does it is freaking hilarious. He makes the funniest faces. The fact that I don't know, it's a bloody machete way up for me, because this is like, Terrifier 1 was a bloody machete up for me. This is 10 times better. That's my personal beliefs. So.
Yeah, mine is still sideways. And
hey, at least it's not straight down like Terrifier 1 was.
I have a hard time even giving it the sideways because of the effects. That's all there is to it. So
it is painted red. What should we do next? I think, we've done a lot of slashers. We have done a lot of slashers. We've done a lot of stuff that's just like gory, and especially Terrifier is gory just for the sake of being gory. Why don't we do something that's a little bit more elevated?
The Babadook?
We did the Babadook.
Oh, she did mention this one though, didn't she?
She did, I think. I think she did. Hereditary! Here, let me move Art out of the way.
Both Arts.
Excuse me. I burped. Come here, Artie boy. Join us next week when we talk about Ari Aster's Hereditary. I personally think that Toni Collette should have won an Oscar for this film.
Yeah, well,
she was amazing.
We all know that horror gets snubbed at the Oscars.
I know, but she deserves, oh my gosh. Okay, you guys, go watch this movie and then come back to us next week because we have a lot to talk about. This movie is, we've got a lot to talk about. Anyways, so make sure you stab the like button.
Stab.
Slash the subscribe button.
Slash
one of them.
Yeah, whatever.
Slash the like button. Stab. I don't work.
Slash the subscribe, stab the like, and ring-a-ling that grave bell.
That's it. That's the one.
3 fucking years, and you think we could remember it? Jesus. Anyway, come back here next week when we dive into that. Until then, we will see you all
in the afterlife.